Hi, third graders. It's Mrs. Burke here with another math lesson for you. So the other day we met and we were working on finding fractions of a group. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use those fractions to find out what part of the group that is. So we're going to answer the question, how can a fraction tell how many are in part of a group? All right, so I'll show you what that means. We're going to start off with some word problems that might help you understand the concept we're trying to get done. So let's read this first one. It says, Christian buys 15 donuts. 1/5 of them have sprinkles. How many of the donuts have sprinkles? Now, the big difference you're going to notice with these types of questions is that your answer is not going to be a fraction like they've been in the past lessons, because they're giving us the fraction right here, 1/5 of these 15 donuts. What we're trying to find out is 1/5 represents how many of those 15 donuts. So the best way to do that is using a model. Now, I'm a math teacher, so my house is filled with lots of weird little math things. I understand that you probably don't have counters home with you. No big deal. I'm going to be using the counters. I'll start on my red side, and once I need the part, I'm going to flip it to yellow. Since it's likely that you don't have counters, I'm going to suggest before you start this lesson, maybe press pause and go around your house and see if you can just get a bunch of pennies. And you won't need more than 25. So find 25 pennies. And what you're going to do is, since I'm going to be starting on red, and then I'll flip it to yellow when I need it, you're going to start on heads all the time. And then when you have to count one of your coins, you'll flip it to tails so you know it was counted. All right? So that's one adjustment you can make if you don't have counters. If you do have counters, awesome. So let's go back. Christian buys 15 donuts. So I need to now represent 15 donuts, and I'm going to do that by using 15 counters. Once I have these 15 counters, I need to find out what amount 1/5 represents. Now, these are words, written form, but if we changed 1/5 into a fraction, what do you think it would look like? Hopefully you were thinking this, 1/5. And this 5 tells me how many groups I need to make. So I'm going to take those 15 donuts and I'm going to turn them into groups of 5. And now you can watch as I do that. So here's my 15. Remember, I'm always going to start on the red. So 1, 2, and I want to put them in groups of 5. 3, 4, 5. And 1/5 of those donuts has sprinkles. So watch. 1 of those 5 have sprinkles. Next, my next group of 5. So this would be 6 donuts, 7 donuts, 8 donuts, 9 donuts, 10 donuts, and 1 of that group of 5 has sprinkles. 11 donuts, 12 donuts, 13 donuts, 14 donuts, 15 donuts, and 1 of those 5 donuts have sprinkles. 1 donut, or 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 1 of those donuts has sprinkles. So now the question asks, how many of my donuts have sprinkles? Well, the yellow represents my sprinkled donut. So my answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4 donuts. Okay? So now we're going to move on Let's do another question. Sorry about my camera. It's a little tricky to do today. Let's look at another question. We're done with Christian's Donuts. Who's going to be up next? We have Claire. Claire picks 18 flowers from the garden. 1/3 of the flowers are roses. How many roses did Claire pick? So I want to think about my total number of flowers I'm starting with. 18. So if you're using pennies, you should get 18 pennies ready. And now I have to put them, I want to know what 1/3 is. So 1/3 as a fraction is going to look like this. 1/3. Which means they should be placed into groups of 3. So, camera trick time. Let's see. I need 18 flowers in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. And remember, 1/3 of them are roses. So this one is a rose. 4, 5, 6. This one is a rose. 7, 8, 9. This one is a rose. 10, 11, 12. This one's a rose. 13, 14, 15. Remember, groups of 3, that's my denominator. This one is a rose. 16, 17, 18. This one is a rose. Now the question says, how many are roses that Claire picked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are roses. And if you look at my array here, you can see my array has 18 total flowers. And look, one of my 3 rows is yellow. 1 row out of 3. That's where this 1/3 comes from. That 1 row of 3 are roses. But how many are in that row? That's what you're trying to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roses. Awesome. Okay, let's try another. Up next, my man Zach. Zach has 12 lacrosse balls in his garage. 1/6 of them are brand new, never opened, still in the box or the case, whatever it comes in. How many of the lacrosse balls are new? So I know I suggested using pennies. I'll show you an example with pennies. I'm going to take 12 pennies to start, and then they'll all start on heads. And once I'm counting one, I'll flip it to tails. Now, I need to have how many in a group? 1/6, which tells me there are 6 in a group. So here I go. Camera time. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads, but one of them is brand new. Okay, next, 7, 8, 9, all heads, 10, 11, 12, but remember, one of them's brand new. So how many did I flip to tails? These 2. So 2 of them are brand new. 2 of my 12 balls. Okay, so that's where you might see it in a word problem. Then you're going to see questions that look like this. Find 1/3 of 15. Now for these questions, I'm going to show you how you can answer it without using manipulatives, but just using like pen and paper or a whiteboard. So it still gives me my fraction 1/3, and that denominator are going to tell me how many are in a group. So I'm making groups of 3. And I'm going to shade in. Before I had red ones and I would flip it to yellow, or I had heads and I would flip it to tails. Now I'm going to do find 1/3, so I'll shade in 1 out of every 15. Sorry, that was upside down. Okay, so here I go. 1/3 of 15. 1, 2, 3. That's a group of 3. It wants me to count one of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now I want to see how many counters represent 1/3 of these 15. Well, look, here's one of my 3 rows or columns. And how many are in that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/3 of 15 equals 5 of the counters. Let's try another one. Find 1/4 of 16. So I know I'm going to have 16 total counters, and I'm going to put them in groups of 4, and I'm going to shade in 1 out of every group of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to shade one of them. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shade one of them. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I had 16 counters. I put them in groups of 4, and I counted 1 out of every group of 4. Or you could say I counted 1 of my 4 groups. How many is in that group? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So 1/4 of 16 is 4. All right, let's try, or I'll show you one more and then we'll try some on our own. 1/2 of 12. So I'm gonna take, you wanna say hi? All right, here's Danny. He's gonna say hi very quick, but then he's gotta go. Say hi to my friends.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Say work hard on your math.
I got your math.
Okay, now I gotta go.
Why? I just want
All right, I'm teaching. Here we go. We gotta find, sorry. 1/4 of 16, oh boy. Oh wait, is that the one I did? 1/2 of 12, sorry. 1, I'm making groups of 2. 1, 2, shade it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So when I had 12 counters, I put them in groups of 2 and I counted 1 out of every group of 2. Or you can see here, I have 2 rows and I shaded 1 whole row. How many are in that group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1/2 of 12 is 6. All right, now's your chance to try. Let's go back to the word problem, see if you remember. For these, I would use my counters or my pennies. Here's the first one. Ryan had 9 pets. 1/3 of them are hamsters. So how many hamsters does Ryan have? And you should be thinking to yourself, he can't have a fraction of a hamster. It has to be a whole number. So your answer shouldn't be something like 1/3, because you can't have 1/3 of a hamster. It has to be an answer like 5, 7, 8, 2, 1, a whole number. So give that a try with your counters. All right, and I'll get mine ready while you're working. Okay, so I have my 9 counters. I'm going to put them, it says 1/3, so that means groups of 3. And I'm going to flip every 1 out of every 3. 1, 2, 3, flip. 4, 5, 6, flip 1, 7, 8, 9. This one's a hamster. So how many hamsters do I have? Not me, but Ryan. He's got 3 hamsters. Okay, let's try another one. Mrs. Burke has 18 students in her class. 1/9 are wearing glasses. So how many students in her class are wearing glasses? So think about how many counters you're going to need. Okay, and I'm going to get started now. Hopefully you thought, okay, I'm going to need 18 counters. And then when you looked at your fraction, 1/9, you should have thought, okay, I'm going to need groups of 9. Here I go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a long one. 7, 8, 9, and I'm gonna flip over. One of these kids is wearing glasses. Again, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Here's my 18 students, and another one of those 9 are wearing glasses. So out of my 18 students, 2 of them are wearing glasses. Okay, and the final one. You can use your counters for this, or if you want to use a dry erase or just a pen and paper, up to you. Can you find 1/4 of 24? So think about how many you're going to put in every group. Okay. 1/4 of 24. Groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting that one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I want you to notice, I'm not saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm keeping the count because I know I need to get to the 24. So 4, 8, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, so now let me count. What would be 1/4 of 24? Or look, now I have one whole row. Out of the 4 is shaded. How many are in that row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1/4 of 24 is 6. All right, I hope you had fun. I hope that helps with some of your classwork that you've been working on. I'll be back next week with some more videos. Hopefully we won't get distracted by Danny, but you never know. We are in his room, so he wants to be a part of it. But I miss you guys, and I'm so proud of all the hard work you're doing, and we will see each other very soon. Have a great day, Stewart School.